4-year-old every time I move.
My kiddo starts off in his own bed every night, but he always comes to our room every single night.
Yeah, it never fails.
But he definitely sleeps like a human.
Okay.
Not like a dog at the bottom of the bed.
Yeah, I don't know why he started doing that.
He sits right really in between.
Weird. Like, even if you grab him and we, like, place him the correct direction between us, he will get up at some point and go lay back down at the foot of the bed.
The only thing that's bothered me the last couple weeks is sometimes he'll try to go under the blankets.
And you're like, why are you doing that?
And it's, like, super stressful to me because I'm like, there's not a lot of air down there. And I really need you to come back up in case your dad gets some
gassy.
Yes.
You don't want to get gassed out down there, kid.
Yeah, I don't need you to get pink eye on top of all this.
Oh, my God. So,
anyway.
But studies found that, and this is from this article, they're talking about studies, and they list them. I just did not go through and pull each study listed in the article to, like, find what they were talking about. But this study, they said, found that children with strong bonds to comfort objects have stronger attachments to their parents and are happier than those that don't have a lovey or a similar type of attachment. And so I thought that was kind of interesting, and I think it's because maybe those kids are trying to wean themselves from their parents, right? Like, to their connection to their parents, and so they have to take that. I don't think that is what my kid's doing. I think it's just that he's like me and he likes soft things. And he likes to rub his nose on soft things. I mean, I would rub my nose on soft things.
And some kids really like love and embrace.
Yeah, and so they have to have something to hug them.
And some kids are like hugging a wild cat like mine.
Yes. Yeah. They're like, ah! So, but they said in the same study, teenagers who need their comfort objects daily could have poorer mental health. So somewhere between 5-ish to 7 years old, when they start reasoning and can start weaning themselves off their object, to when they become a teenager, somewhere in there has to do with mental health. They don't go into it. Nobody has gone further into that. But I would be curious to see how that develops over time. Like if you took kids and studied them over, those long studies where the longitudinal studies, where you study someone over a long period of time.
Yes.
My nerdism is showing. And
sometimes it's like 20 years.
But if they did that, like, I would like to know the results of something like that. But those studies are hard because people don't like to participate for very long.
No.
Hell, I was just in a study for 12 weeks, and I thought that was too long. Like I had to keep logs and stuff, and I'm like, ugh.
I don't feel like I have a good enough memory to keep up with something. And, like, actually remember, I was supposed to go hang out with a person at 1 p.m. on Friday.
Yeah, so you'd have to put, like, alarms and reminders all the time, and that gets annoying. Like, I hate it at work when my computer's going, don't forget to do this assignment. Don't forget to do this report. And I'm like, I know. And then later I forget, and I'm like, son of a, where's my reminder?
I love the studies that kind of more outline like a prank. Short term, like my memory. Like the ones where you go into an elevator and you stand the incorrect direction, and as time passes, every few seconds, another person will face the same direction as you, thinking that you know more than they do. I love those kind of studies.
Yes.
Because it literally is like a prank. And
it's
I also like pranks.
I call it, I'm sure it has a psychological name, but I call it the herd effect.
Yes.
Because if you've ever herded cows or any herd type based animal, if you can get one going in one direction, the others generally will follow.
Absolutely.
And so people do the same thing. If you go stand in the wrong place and form a line far away from where there's supposed to be a line, people will still line up behind you because they think that's what they're supposed to do. It's a herd mentality effect, and I love it.
Oh, when I came to visit a couple weeks ago, I have a funny elevator quick story.
Okay, go. Do it.
The hotel we stayed at, we went swimming, and we got back onto the elevator, and as we did, it was a full elevator, and it was a pretty good size one, and all these people got on. Well, this last older couple gets on, and the man stands right in front of the door but faces all of us and crosses his arms. And he's a tall-statured individual. And I'm just looking at him because I am very socially awkward, and when people think that I won't speak, I do. And
so true.
So he decides to say the first thing, like, oh, isn't it funny that when people do something like look at you in the elevator, people get confused or something to that effect. He wasn't trying to be rude. He was trying to be funny. But I looked at him, I said, "Oh, I just thought you were in law enforcement or something," and just stared at him, and he just went and like straightened his face and kind of slumped his shoulders slightly. I went, "He is."
You're like, called it. Check.
Because like, who else would do that?
Nobody else would do that.
Unless you're right. Someone who has a lot of independence on their own and someone who really wants to see other people's reactions.
Yes. You're probably absolutely
Which tends to be.
Mm-hmm. I know a lot of guys like that.
Anyway. I thought it was really funny, and then he tried to make light of it by talking to my kid, and then I was like, ooh, I don't like you talking to my child, actually. I know you seem like a sweet older man, but
you were fine.
I actually don't like people talking to my kid.
You were fine until you looked at my child, and now you cannot.
Yes. Did you go swimming? He's soaking wet, and so am I. I didn't say that. I was nice the rest of the little elevator ride. Anyway, short story.
That was a good one. That was good. So that's going to wrap up today's episode. We hoped you enjoyed the wine and motherhood adventure. Thank you for tuning in and turning up with us. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram at Mom's Guide to Wine, and that is with the number 2. Leave us a love note, episode suggestion, or just say hi.
Howdy.
This is Eliza.
And this is Rosie.
And we'll be spilling with you soon.